Hey, let's move on to another big world stage moment. Jon Rahm with that big putt on 18 to win the United States Open. I mean, there was guys that were still left on the course, but it seemed like that was the defining moment. And after that, there was nobody else that could actually put up a better score.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things that I think was missing from the first two majors of the season, the Masters and the U.S. Open, was that towards the end of those tournaments, it was just kind of like just whoever can survive down the stretch, whoever could make the least mistakes. We saw Matsuyama. He didn't necessarily go, just run away from the field in the Masters. He needed Xander Schauffele to mess up and put the ball in the water, on the back nine at the Masters. You saw in the U.S. Open that, a couple of players tried to chase Phil Mickelson, and Koepka came up short, made a couple of mistakes later in the tournament. This time it was Rahm chasing after Louis Oosthuizen and some of the other guys that were up the top of the leaderboard. And Rahm made that massive putt on 18 to really like claw at the title and rip it away from Louis Oosthuizen. And that's what you love to see in majors. You love to see guys go up and get them and snatch them away from other players. Neither Oosthuizen or Rahm had won a major coming into this one. Oosthuizen's been up there many times.
Yep.
And I feel bad for Louis. I love watching Louis play. He's a little guy, but he hits the ball really well. He's very accurate. But unfortunately, wasn't able to win this one. But I was happy for Rahm. Rahm's one of those guys. He always gets pissed off on the course. He's been known to, throw his gloves and things like that and get upset at things. But he was emotional when he hit that putt. He was pumped up when he hit that putt. And it's great to see him win a major. I think this is going to propel him. He's going to win a few more majors over the next few years because of this. Now he's got that first one off his back. But you got to go back a few weeks ago, too, when he was at the Memorial and he was going to win the tournament. He was 6 or 7 shots ahead on day 3 trying to finish up his round, and then he finds out he tested positive for COVID, so he had to be disqualified from the tournament. Would have won easily. So for him to rebound, come back, win the U.S. Open like this, I think it's huge for him. And just add another guy to the list that's going to be one of those major winners who's going to be a major player in every major going forward for years to come.
Yeah, I agree. Put him up there. He will be on that list. Kind of like you said, how Louis Oosthuizen kind of always has himself in the mix, especially in these majors. I think Jon Rahm is going to be that name that you're going to have up in there on the leaderboards for years to come in the majors. But hey, don't feel bad for Louis, because with the British Open coming up, he'll be right back up there on the top of the leaderboard and having himself a chance to win it. Wouldn't be shocked if Louis actually wins that one. And they call that the Open for the British Open. I think he does have a chance to win that. So, hey, don't feel bad for Louis. But Jon Rahm has really been tearing it up, man. Like you said, leading that tournament before he had to withdraw, he was definitely going to win that. And then now he just took it out on this course. He just took it out on Torrey Pines. All of his anger and frustration was like, well, all right, I'll just win this even bigger tournament and get myself a major. But like I said, took it out on Torrey Pines, one of the harder courses, right? And we always say how these U.S. Opens, they're set up to be even harder. And so the conditions weren't a normal Torrey Pines. This is a U.S. Open setup at Torrey Pines. And Jon Rahm was just hitting around it like with ease. And that putt on 18 really secured it. Like I said, there was still a bunch of guys that were on the course that had a chance to win it at that point. But it just felt like that was all the momentum to win right there. That was the big moment of the tournament. And it ended up being the big moment and the big winner, the putt that won him the tournament. Nobody else could put up a score lower than that coming throughout the day, finishing through 18. So it just was really one of those big moments. I know I was watching with my dad, and my dad said, man, that was like a Tiger Woods putt. And it really was. It was like a Tiger Woods-like moment, a big bending break putt, and then he gives a big fist bump when he makes it. And it was for the big one, you know what I mean? So it was good to see. But I don't think anybody was shocked to see Jon Rahm be up there and to actually put this one home and to get himself a title of a major, because I think it was just really one of those things where it was just like, when is this finally going to happen? Because the guy is so good. He's been playing so good. So, yeah, expect to see him up there as well in the British Open. But I think a couple of the other guys that we claimed were going to be up there were on the board there. And I think we just got a caller that joined. Producer Ben, you got something to say about Jon Rahm?
I do, actually. I got to give Patrick a little bit of credit here, because I know how Pat likes to hedge his predictions. He likes to pick like 3 or 4 guys. But in this case, I think he covered himself on his odds too, because I recall Pat said that Jon Rahm was on tear. He got pulled out with COVID, but he expected him to pick up right where he left off. So, Pat, I just wanted to give you the nod on that one and just kind of call and interrupt your broadcast and just say that was a great prediction, buddy. So I'm going to get back to producing over here, but I just want to check in with you guys. So keep up the good work, fellas.
Hey, Ben, appreciate that, man. I said Rahm is going to be in the mix. I said Koepka is going to be in the mix. And then I said the sleeper pick was Will Zalatoris, who got cut. So, I guess I did hedge my bets there because I made a very poor choice with Zalatoris. But appreciate it nonetheless, man.
Hey, I've got one quick thing before we move on to a great topic. And I'll throw it back to you so you can switch it over. But like I said, I think you picked him. You picked Jon Rahm, but I was saying when Ben kipped in there, a lot of the guys that we said were going to be at the top of the leaderboard were there, and they were up there. I mean, so our predictions just keep the nail in it, man. Go back and watch some of our previous shows. Give us a subscribe and give us a like, because we're like Nostradamus of sports, man. We just keep predicting it. It just keeps happening, and we'll keep doing it. But I would like to say quickly before I give it back to you, it was just coming up, and I just read it today, that Brooks Koepka said he loves that his feud with Bryson DeChambeau is getting all this attention and all this feud. And he said he's going to continue to keep it up and that he really doesn't like Bryson DeChambeau. And so, man, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that rivalry on the course. And, yeah, I can't wait to see more of that.
Yes, it's phenomenal for golf that those two guys just can't stand each other. Koepka was done at the end of the day when Bryson DeChambeau just completely collapsed. I forget which hole it was, but there was a big valley at the left side of the hole. DeChambeau hits it in there, ball is just gone. And Koepka's looking at it like, this is great. I'm done, finished playing. I can just watch this guy, just collapse on this hole right here. He went from, in the red to in the plus. Just on that one hole, so to see. Yep. I'm sure Koepka was loving that. But yeah, again, now we have Rahm and we have all these different guys that have now won majors with him, Koepka, DeChambeau. Jordan Spieth's going to come back. I mean, we keep saying Jordan Spieth's going to win a major this year. He could win the British. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys again that's going to be in it. We still have a ton of these young guys. Justin Thomas is still playing well despite not winning a major this year so far. I don't know what's happening with Rory McIlroy. He just doesn't seem to be able to get over that hump over the last couple of years. But then again, another talented golfer. There's so many talented golfers right now. But to have that feud is going to be great. Now with Tiger, really not in the mix right now, you need that feud to drive ratings, to drive attention. It's great for the game of golf.